Hello people, what's going on today? It's a new day, new week, new elevation, new stun. You know how it is. Still the same week, but it's a new mindset. Today's topic is going to be based on the aspects of having to explain to people like myself, which are trying to break down the barriers of what we call the generational curse that the ancestors and those before have paved towards the generation of forward to go. Now, I wanted to basically break it down to you guys. I'm going to give you two scenarios, yeah. The first scenario is that when you normally find or you get like a lot of these older generation, yeah, stepdad's age, people like that, etc. Get me? People that you know that were with uncles, aunties, etc. Yeah? Their generation were the ones that believed that they were keeping it 100 on a code that was built to support our people, but didn't know they were living backwards and actually being retarded in the aspects of following a code that was built from slavery, from black people snitching on black people. This is what I need to show you first. This is where their code as the older generation came from. So everyone from the older generation, the generation before us, were the generation that said, oh, don't do this, don't do that. If you do this, then you consider weak. If you do that, you're considered strong, right? Cool. Now, we are in the world where my generation said, fuck that. We ain't trying to listen to none of that street bollocks code. Yeah? Reasons why I'm saying this is, yeah, I would rather someone come to me and tell me, yo, this person has been going around doing this and that for black people, creating confusion, creating wars, creating problems, creating, postcode or area beefs, yeah? Tribal beefs, as we call it originally, yeah? But doesn't even know where he comes from. Now, you need to understand, me, I'm royalty. I ain't no street motherfucker. Do you understand? I came from the streets. I struggled. I came from the jungles. I didn't come from the concrete. I came from the jungles. See the difference? Yeah? So when the birds are flying and you got the airplane sounding a bit loud for people to know exactly, like, even wherever I'm at, there's even high levels of kingship everywhere. You understand? Yeah? Now, I need to explain this to people so people can understand clearly what I'm trying to explain to you. We are living in a world of a generation that was built on standard verb. This generation is built on not backing down. This generation of today is built on saying how we feel what is right and what is wrong. If you're speaking on what is right to correct the wrongs, I give you congratulations. Well done. You're learning. If you're speaking on what's negative and just focusing on negative things because you are only around negative things and you choose to be negative, that's down on you. Do you understand? Someone like me, I grew up around negative people, but I was always a positive person out of the whole negative situation. Could have been people I was around with, could have been people that I grew up with, could have been whatever. But how they seen life and how they wanted life to be was not how I wanted my life to be. Yeah? Well, first, the other thing I need to remind you all, I need to just say this clearly, I'm a veteran. Yeah? Many people that knew me in the street knew that I was someone that the army knows me well globally. Yeah? They know me very, very well. So, in that aspect, what I'm saying as a veteran, I'm not even a higher level compared to the police. Do you understand? The police are like the lowest, extreme lowest level as what we would classify as serving and protecting the people, which they never do. Let's make that clear. As a veteran or army member, I'm dealing with global wars and famine, disease, problems. That's what I'm dealing with my job. Yeah, as a veteran. Do you understand? So to be a veteran is not something you can just wake up and just say, oh, I'm a veteran now. It don't work like that. You have to have experience, which means if you were trained since you were a young kid like myself, and you were given the opportunity since you were a young kid to train and be put into many missions and stuff so that you can, find order in the right way. And then you grow up and you use your experience after a while to then move up ranks and then be teaching people. That's how you become a veteran now, yeah? So, I need to explain to a lot of people, yeah? Sorry, the plane is kind of flying high and it's just showing a lot of people flying high, that it's going a lot of places that it needs to go to make sure that it looks after people, yeah? Now, I need to explain this to people. I need to just say this clear to people, yeah? If you know who you are, be who you are. If you had someone that his whole life, all he's ever seen was things in the army that he cannot speak about that can do damage to someone, yeah? Having now to be placed in places where it's like you could never really understand where I've come from, yeah? You have to now understand the difference to someone that's been spoon-fed his whole life, really and truly, yeah? As much as he might claim life was difficult for him, yeah, it wasn't as difficult as he claimed to be, because everything that he's done was complete opposite towards what God told people to do on this earth, right? So, when I'm doing everything accordingly to the way God wants us to live in this world, and I'm living accordingly the way that to give praise to the Most High, work towards the Most High, honor the Most High, do my best so that the Most High can see that my hard work and everything that I'm doing for the Most High is important, you have to now see the difference. Now, the difference is very simple. My difference is I want people to understand that their life is important because God loves all. I want people to understand that ain't no police officer that can tell you who you can be and what you can do. But I also want people to know that at times there's people working for the police. Make sure you have people to send back to the police so police and police can go back and forth. That's the whole point. You're not supposed to go outside and do nothing with yourself and then have people that are doing nothing with themselves then turn around and bring more young people that had nothing to do with their nothing with themselves, because that's what I call them, doing nothing with yourself. That's what I call them, yeah? Follow the street codes. That's what I call them, yeah? Bunch of cowards, yeah? And we use the kids, the younger generation, the women, whatever, including the brothers, because the brothers are the ones that are suffering the most, and bring them into something that we call the slave code. As an African person, if you come from Congo, if you come from all these places and you're really someone that has common sense and you have education, as an African person with education, you will never ever see them screaming out gang. You will never ever see them screaming, even if they come here and they're just saying it for the fun of it because they think it's funny, cool. But in Africa or wherever, or even if you're saying it at a point that you have to just understand that it means nothing to you, you're not affiliated to nothing but God. You're royal first, a loyal first, and royal first. So all of that gang nonsense, keep that slave nonsense to yourselves, yeah? That's how I keep it, yeah? If you want to be free, clear your mind and be free. If you want to be a slave, think like a slave. If you want to be a product of your own environment, you be that product of your own environment. But you see me, yeah? I'm not a product of my environment. I ain't no slave. And I especially ain't letting nobody that's in Europe or any aspect, even when I went to Africa, tell me who I am. I was rolling through Africa, living life like a king. Came to Paris. They knew who I was already because obviously the Eurostar, yeah? TM. Went to Congo, Orange, TM. Came to the UK. When I was in Paris, I'm seeing my logo everywhere. Yeah? Because I know my values. No one in the streets gives a fuck about no one. That's why they built it and they called it a trap for a reason. They even made the name simple for people that are illiterate to understand what they're trying to show you. The name trap basically means they trap you people into what we call redlining. Now this redlining now becomes something like, how can you say it? People don't have a voice, people can't speak, people can't live their life, so then you're having to see people having to live on certain means for them to eat and do what they have to do. For example, there's some good people out here that, freedom, like Nines and the rest of them. But, these people ain't people that you could judge them because of based on how their environment is. They were just a subject to the product of their environment. They weren't a product of their environment. They were subject by the product of the environment. That could be anything. That could be people they know, which has nothing to do with me, as in like older generation, or who they know around their aspects of friends or whatever, and all those people that work with the police, as I would call them, because they're the people that you think they're plugs, but really and truly, if you're a plug, why the fuck would a plug go into a socket and then the socket doesn't work? Do you know what I mean? The socket should be independently in the plug by itself. Because when you put a plug in a socket, do you understand the drift? Independently it goes in, independently you switch the thing on, independently you have power. But why would a plug now have to go through the means of paying taxes? Have to go through the means of having to pay the police, having to go through the means of having to pay the system for them to now be living their life and do what they have to do in economies for them to live. Does that not make sense to people? If you had any common sense, you'll think, why is these plugs paying the police? I just don't get it. Since then, when I was a young youth, I always used to tell myself, these men are stupid, all of them, because they're thinking that what they're doing is the best way. But if you got so many people in poverty-driven areas that are all suffering, 100 people that are all suffering, telling you they have to live that life for them to eat, for them to have means to grow, for them to this and that, they're chatting shit. Excuse my language, they're chatting rubbish. Yeah? Because if you take 100 people, you take £100 from 100 people, how much is that? Is that not more than enough so that you can invest towards a business with all of those people, building that team and creating one team from all of those people? A legal business of your own where no one can tell you nothing, because as soon as you have a charity that's standing with you, as you see who I am, hello, yeah? That's the aspects of making the tax go away. You see how their government people work? You see how many years the white culture have been profiting so much because they understand business in a way that people that are come from an olden way of Africa don't have a clue. Till now, it was only my generation of people that truly picklocked and removed that slave key in our minds and our spirit and showed everyone, yo, this is how we live life. This is how we enjoy life. This is how we have the best of life. This is how life grows. And if you guys want to grow even more, there's more things you need to follow and understand for that growth to go the way it needs to grow. So everything is simple. God made this world, gave us Adam and Eve. From Adam and Eve, he gave us the fruit, which is the earth, money, everything we have. Everything comes from a tree, right? That we want to enjoy. If not comes from a tree, it comes from the ground. So from the ground all the way up, that's where everything comes from. So the ground, the economy, and all these things are more expensive and more important than you people buying your clothes. They're more expensive and more important than you people going out and, using all these cars to mess up the economy. Do you understand? All of these things necessarily add up. Eventually, the economy is getting worse because of these aspects, but people don't realize and don't understand that they're making a contribution towards this. Does it make sense? So when you people are polluting, making the world a worse world, and then using all of this ideas of street code, then white supremacy, then what we call sellout black people, because that's what we call them, because that's the real white supremacy. Yeah, the white supremacist people are the black people that sold out black people. They are the real version of white supremacy. They're not white, their color is just like me and you. Brown skin, colored people. Yeah, they are the people that are selling out our own people. Now, on my part, I've had to literally ring every aspects. From an army man, you know, if I ring, even if the police hear my voice and they know someone is using the police in their favors, I can shut everything down like that. No joke. If someone's going through problems with the police, I can take you out the problems and say here, don't worry. The police ain't coming looking for you. Live your life. Oh, sit here, don't worry. The police ain't looking for you. Come live your life. Oh, sit here. That's why when it comes towards the army, you don't know my part on what I'm doing. Freedom is important. You can talk about finance. You can talk about this. You can talk about that. You can talk about that. But once you ain't got freedom, you ain't got security, you ain't got nothing. You're just like anyone else. Anytime they can strike at you. So my job is important. My position as an army man is important. My position as God's child is important. I'm not jeopardizing that for nobody. I couldn't care less about Drake. I couldn't care less about gigs. I couldn't care less about the buzzword law. I couldn't care less about whoever. Do you understand? Whoever. Because my job, my purpose, everything that I'm doing is important to me. Yeah? And it being important to me is important to everyone else that I'm saving. Because if I'm not doing this job, how are all you guys coming out of prison? How are all you people in the mental health institution coming out the mental health institution? How are some of you women that are getting pimped out or that were raped having some sort of solutions to help you deal with your situations? How are certain refugees that are coming into countries from all around the world getting to these countries and allowed to be there? These are the questions that these people don't want to ask. They would rather ask, oh, what street code are you from? They would rather ask, what culture are you from? They would rather ask, what age are you? They would rather ask, where is your family background? They will ask all the questions that don't make no sense. Because these questions don't define me. But they won't ask the most important questions that I mentioned before. This is the world that we are living in now. My generation of 1993, 1990, from 1990 all the way to 1993, my generation are the generation that said, fuck this, we woke up. We're the generation that said, enough is enough. We don't want to hear no more about these older people talking about beefs and wars and this and that they had back in the days with them. Back in the days is back in the days. Let the past be the past and let the good of the past remain the good of the past. The misery of the past is this of the past. Let that be slide away to the past because people do not understand these whole aspects of what I'm trying to explain to them. They are too focused on chasing meaty, pointless things that ain't got no values. And what does these things do? It's like a circle. It goes around, 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 around. They'll ask, oh, give me some money today. You give them some money today. They do nothing with themselves. Then they ask for more money. Then they ask for more money. Then they ask for more money. So we need to get to a point where I'm speaking to you right here directly on the phone so everyone can hear what I'm trying to say. We need to get to that point of all people to understand a title don't mean shit if you ain't got a king, global king that owns a free trade agreement that can make your freedom and security matter. If you ain't got me, forget about what you think you know. You can even follow Satan for all I care. I couldn't care less. Do you understand? But you know I serve God, innit? So because I serve God and I serve the Most High as an Israelite king, with my name, and you know what my name means and what it stands for. Yeah? It's about these aspects. If you don't know yourself, you don't know yourself. But me, I know myself. You see me? How I'm like. It's colorized my skin, white, black, Asian, everything. See me? Yeah? I know who I am. Do you understand? Because I know who I am. And I'm grateful of who I am. It's worrying to other people. They get terrified. They can't handle it. It's stuff to them at certain points where they feel to themselves that it's too much for them to handle. Wait for a minute. People will make rumors about you because you're so confident about knowing yourself. People will snitch on you. People will go to the biggest means of having to use the streets and the youths to promote more people selling other people out. So black people selling other black people out, Asian people selling more Asian people out, white people selling more white people out. You get the drift, right? Yeah? That's what their code in the street is built about. So when you lot are going outside and saying, yeah, man's I'm gonna, you see all these younger generation, don't get caught up on that nonsense lifestyle. Because all it's doing is getting you younger people locked up. You work hard. You do all the back work. You do all the front work. And then what happens? They get you lot locked up. They take all your profits. You don't know how long you're going to be in there. They're eating off your profits. And some of these men here in the streets are pedophiles, you know. I'm going to tell you 100. Them gigs and this and that, they know who they are, blood. They're pedophiles. They're little nonsense, bruv. Like, they go around chatting to young girls. You think we don't know? So, you need to know the difference to someone like me, which I understand, I've got women that are not far from my age and women that are older from me. The women I chat to. But the women I'm chatting to right now is a woman that's not far from my age, but the same age as me. Yeah? I ain't trying to chat to no woman that's a little kid. The fuck is she ain't gonna bring nothing to me? What am I gonna do with that? You know what I mean? I don't want that. That's disgusting. So, yeah. So I just need to show people and remind people in my aspects how I see things and how I'm just trying to let people know in my aspects how things need to change. You young people, listen to this message today. Because I am the only person that stood for you. I'm the only person that fought for you. I'm the only person that risked. Well, I took pay cut for you young people. I took a pay cut for you young people. When your own elders and family members didn't want nothing to do with you. These young kids are wild. All these young kids don't listen. All these young kids love doing drama. All this da. I was the one that took that risk for all of them to look after them. They'll thank everybody. But when the real ones only thank me, I say thank you. The ones that forgotten about me and think all these other people that's telling them lies are the ones that really help them. Cool. I'll let you just stay there until you get some common sense. By that time, if it's too late, that's your own business. You got a lot more younger people that's onto you. So what we're living in now. Do you understand? So when people are now having to think the way they're thinking, never judge someone because of how he looks. Maybe that person is dressed plain and basic because he's saving to help pay for you young people's life so you can have a better life. Instead of you just being grateful and happy and just taking your money every time you're getting paid, 30% of that pocket wages every time you get paid and always bringing in my direction, you're going to all these nonsense people, the people that still getting you locked up and still coming back and running back to me, help me. Do you see what I mean now? People don't know where they stand and where they come from. I would rather pick up the phone and get 2 police officers killing each other and fighting each other than go outside and get 2 people that are from the streets that know nothing about all of this I'm telling them about to go out and be confused and end up killing each other. And then one or the other is ending up living the rest of their life having to now figure out after what I'm trying to explain to them in these aspects. It's enough to make someone go, whoop. Do you understand? I would rather that. I would rather. Because if you're going out and you're causing conviction towards the people that are oppressing people, I say you're a hero. But if you're just sitting there every single day like an Eve, and all you're doing is just continue on selling and forcing lies and thinking that because what you've done, or you think that you're someone's father, nah, blood. Stay back. Do you understand? You need to know the difference. Eve is a snitch. Do you understand? I work for the army. If I feel that these youths' lives are in danger, and there's things that these older men are doing that's targeting these youths, and especially these youths, I have to speak up. Because I have a duty of care. I have a duty to serve, and I have a duty to stand as not only as an army member, but as a royal global member. If I don't speak and say nothing about nothing, brother, or people, then I'm not doing my job. Yeah? I have to do my job just like other people have to do their job. Other people choose to be slaves and follow a street code that was a slave code and get most of these women stressed out to the point that certain men are even using women, to the point that these women are ending up getting up in mental institution. So you might not getting women in mental institution. These women ain't saying nothing, but you might are still going around and still messing up your life. You ain't doing nothing. You ain't going nowhere. Till now, how long has Jay-Z been on his career doing music? How much is Jay-Z's net worth? Just $1 billion. Blood, I made $1 billion in 1 year. I make $1 billion a day. I make $1 billion per second as we speak. Per second. So what is Jay-Z's career, Kanye West's career, this person's career, that person's career to, what is their career to me? It means nothing to me. These people don't know how to business. They're not business-minded people. They're slaves trying to get out of slavery with whatever means to pay the taxes. I don't have to pay taxes. I'm a king. My culture, we don't believe in taxes. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. We're not supposed to tax people. Originally, we're not supposed to. Only those that steal from us, take from us, we're supposed to add that. So when people are stealing from me, why do you think now we're in a pandemic? Because so many people owe me money, plus double, plus triple, plus control, plus 4 times more. They can't pay me now because the interest just keeps rising and rising every second as we speak. So those that are young, that think, okay, yo, there's an opportunity now for me to do right, figure something out. But figure it out the right way to pay off what you're supposed to pay off. Because if you're not going to do it, there is people still getting, whatever happens, there's people still getting it one way or another. Do you understand? You can hide. You can try, think you can run. But look what's happening. Everyone that try run, eventually will catch something that's near you. Do you know what I mean? And we're bringing you back to where you're supposed to come back to. So, one way or another, people need to understand, yeah, if it's not your money, don't talk rubbish. If someone paid for your rent, don't talk rubbish. If someone paid for your family's freedom and removed the shackles from their feet, don't talk rubbish. I couldn't care less if you're Drake, mate. I couldn't even care if you're Elizabeth. I couldn't care less, mate. But what I'm trying to say to you is, yeah, stop talking rubbish. Because you lot are clout chasing wellards that are just continue on selling bull crap news. Eventually it gets to a point that I'm having to explain to the younger generation, stop defending these older generation street code and other codes that are built only on slavery. Even women have certain codes that they're messing up on, which came from when women were getting raped by who? The slave masters, even white women. So you think I don't know my history? You think I don't know where I come from? You think I don't know who I am? Why would I run from the police if I could not make the police bend over backwards for me? Why would I run from them? Think about it. You're more of a real one to me If you're someone that doesn't have to look over your shoulders and worry like the rest of them over police, you're a real one to me. Because if you've come from a struggle like me and had to suffer to get to the position I am right now, and you've had the police, you're bending the police backwards. You're showing the police, I ain't your slave. I don't work for you. I don't answer to your laws. I don't answer to what you tell me to do. I answer to the laws of God. When you're someone like that can truly show me with your heart and just against systems that is corrupt and built through slavery, I give you hallelujah. I praise you. Just like I say I praise the Most High, I'll say thank you. All praise to what you're doing because you're a good-hearted person. I'm not saying you're God, of course, but I'm just saying we all have the Spirit of God in us. Do you get me? So that braveness, that courageousness is the Spirit of God because, the police business is a demonic business. Let's be honest. The system they built is a demonic system. Let's be honest. So just know who you are. Do some research, young people. Share this information across. Stop working for these elders. I am the only one you lot answer to. Whenever you get money, bring it my way. Take your cut. For you younger people, I'm just showing you 30% from all your money. That's not much. That's 70% still in your pockets. 70% of your money is still in your pockets, and I'm only taking 30% every time you're earning. That's nothing, bro. That's nothing. Do you know what I mean? So you have to understand. Look how generous I'm being. I could have said 50. I could have said, I get 80, you get 20. But I didn't. Because the difference is I want everyone to be happy. I want people to be successful. I want the best for this younger generation. Because if I'm really someone that stands with God and speaks about doing the work of God and understands I was young once. I once was young. Like I'm old, I'm getting old now, but I once was really young. I once was young, Time changed. So the time now I'm grown. I'm a grown-ass man. What's changed? I don't have kids. I don't have nephews. I don't have nieces. I don't have little cousins. I don't have those things. Nothing's changed. So I was once young. And you just need to remember I'm not going to let them suffer for the mistakes we made. That's why we changed everything. We changed the whole table. Do you understand? Changing the whole table just made it very clear to people. I'm not trying to hear anyone tell me about my position as a king. I know who I am. If you don't know who you are, well, don't try to think you know who I am, because I know who I am. Do you understand? That's the difference. Yeah? Certain people like it, other people feel threatened at the fact that you're confident about yourself. So it is what it is. A lot of insecure, mid-aged people that you're finding in the music industry that don't even know music, especially hip-hop. All of this was created in Africa first. That's where you find music really for colored people created first. But they don't want to talk about it. They want to talk about in the USA, we created the hip-hop, and this year how long have these people been sleeping? They don't know nothing about their history. Some of them don't even know what countries in Africa their ancestors came from. But you're using idiots like that. Not saying that they're all idiots, because some are learning, but using ignorant idiots like that as means for you to then judge someone like me that knows who I am. It's quite sad. But from my point of view, all those that are listening to this video, I just want to be honest, because they don't want to see a wise, intelligent, powerful man speak on knowledge. They would rather hear someone talk about Superman that whole. Seriously? I don't want to hear no Soldier Boy. I don't want to hear no Drake. I don't want to hear nothing. Let's hear some common sense. Let's hear some common sense. Let's talk about common sense. Because we're living in a world filled with retards. That are celebrities, that are presidents, that are government workers. Retarded people. You do know you don't have to pay taxes, right? But you lot are still paying taxes, right? Why is it that I don't pay taxes? Because I know my rights. And because I know my rights, I'm not paying no taxes. And there's not many people that know their rights. So the fact that you guys are paying taxes and you're still paying taxes and paying the taxes is the government's debt. But every time the government gets in debt, is getting you people in the public to pay for that debt. It has nothing to do with you people. It's all the government and all these people's fault. It has nothing to do with you people. So when you're paying taxes, what's that money in taxes really going? It's paying off their debts that they made as government workers. So all you guys that are working for them as government workers, just understand, I know my rights. There is no one above me. There's no lieutenant, there's no sergeant, there's no captain, there's nothing above me in the army. I'm like the highest point of army. There's nothing above that. Literally. I'm one of those people, you shouldn't even try to do any wrong to me. Trust me. It wouldn't go well globally or any country. I'm just one of them. Treat me good, you're good. Simple. You know what I mean? I don't like drama. And I don't like people bringing drama my way. So I wanted to just make this clear so people can understand my part of view, where I come from. Because there's a lot of people that are just following and chasing the wind, and I just need to just blow them back in the direction of common sense so they can just understand there is a lot of fools in this world. Honestly, Jay-Z created a Bible. Who are you? Kanye West created a Bible. Who are you? You only have 1 billion. Us African people, that is nothing. Even one of our resources in Africa is worth more than that. What is 1 billion to us? So when people don't know who they are, and they're using billionaires, millionaires, trillionaires, and you're telling me these people are the richest people in the world, I laugh at these fools. Because Coltan alone is worth more, 20 times more. Tell me, how many technology or how many stuff that's powered by Coltan in the globe? Add all of these things. Name them all. Tell me just that alone. I'm not including gold. I'm not including diamond. I'm not including silver. I'm leaving them as something I can enjoy. But I'm just using that one alone for electricity. That's one of my mining business that belongs to my family, right? So if I'm here in the UK, giving back my stuff that belongs to my ancestors, let me and my African people go back home then, innit? Do you know what I mean? We're immigrants, right? That's what they call us, innit? So let us take our immigrant stuff that built your countries and go back to our countries in Africa. And stop talking your We don't want to hear nothing. Just stop talking. That's the point we are right now as African people. So just know, this is a message I want to just let